Hey, it's Bret and Steven, and we're going to talk about 5 things we love about the African burial grounds. Yeah, we recently took a trip down there with the cast of Amazing Grace, and the history that we found was unbelievable. Okay, it's number one about it is the location, because it's actually really close. It's here in Manhattan. It's on the, you can get on pretty much any subway train. If you get off at Chamber Street or City Hall, it's right there. It's really easy to get to, and most people don't even know that it's there. There is just so much history, and it was only just discovered in 1991, which was one of the most fascinating things that I found. To think that something so big was just right under our feet, and they didn't even know it until 1991, because when they build buildings here, they just fill up things with landfill and then build on top of it. And it's pretty unbelievable. Number two is the film that they showed inside of the museum. You know, they talk about how there was over 400 bodies found in the burial ground of various slaves and Africans who lived in that part of Manhattan at the time. But if they hadn't built Manhattan the way they did, like filled in this ravine, which was actually outside of the city, because Africans weren't allowed to bury themselves in church burials, so they had to leave the city to bury. And then it was in a ravine, and they had to landfill it, and it was like 40 feet below ground. So no basements had been built there up until the 90s. They went to excavate, and they found all these bodies. And they took all of the remaining parts of all the bodies and put them into 3 different mounds, and stacked each thing like 20 feet below ground, and then stacked each. They put them in these boxes that were designed in Ghana. Yeah. And that was number 3 actually, is the monument, because you can visit the monument. They like took the remains out and studied them at Howard University, and then took them back and gave them a right beautiful ceremonial thing in 2006. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, this is all pretty new, and it's also cool because it's like just like this grassy field in the middle of the financial district. And what was cool is the cast of Amazing Grace, which I'm in on Broadway. There's a huge part of the show that's about slavery, so we all went as a company, and we got to experience a private tour together as a company, which I thought was really meaningful and powerful. And Steven got to come along. And then number 5 that was really amazing was Chuck Cooper, Tony Award winner Chuck Cooper, who's starring in Amazing Grace. We got to the monument as a company, you know, just us, and he said, "I want to take a moment and just remember our ancestors." And then he started to sing this spiritual, and we were just like, it was, you could hear a pin drop, and it was really powerful. I left there just so curious and excited as to what we don't know, you know, the history that's all around us, and we just have no idea still. Because I bet there's all kinds of people buried underneath us right now. Like Poltergeist. It's like Poltergeist. The original Poltergeist. The one from 1982.